What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package and infrastructure update, and daily news report for Friday, July 23rd. Today we have a big update for you guys. I want to talk about how one financial expert is actually calling for $250 monthly stimulus checks, and there's a reason for this amount. We're also going to look into why this fourth stimulus check is still being discussed, how it is being pushed by some because they say it is needed at this time. We have an unemployment crisis and an eviction crisis coming, all while the CDC says that right now the Delta COVID variant is the most infectious disease we have seen so far. So let's get into the update for today. First off, I just want to thank you guys for watching. If you could, go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Also, consider subscribing so that I can continue to keep you updated on everything that is going on. Here's what we know. Right now, the unemployment in states that canceled benefits a little bit early, they're actually seeing more financial hardships. What we heard from the Republican Party was that we need to cancel the $300 per week unemployment boost because that is actually preventing people from going back to work. That is what is keeping our unemployment rate so high. However, the reports are indicating that that is not the case. Reports have indicating that the unemployment or the unemployed is still finding it very difficult to find a job. Some reports have indicated that the reason for this is because the employers are getting a little bit more picky. They have more people to choose from because everybody's going back to work, meaning they can pick and choose who they want. They don't have to just settle for just anybody that comes in and fills out an application. They can pretty much hold off and only provide or offer a job to those that truly qualify. Other reports indicate that it is because of the employees. Employees are putting out multiple job applications and then they are accepting just the ones that either meet or exceed their criteria. So some of the employees in the past, especially in other states, we have seen where they just go and get any job. Maybe they have a master's degree, yet they're going to go and become a fry cook at McDonald's. Nothing against a fry cook, but you do not need a master's degree to be a fry cook. And so that's one of the other reports is we're seeing people go into jobs that they are way overqualified for simply because that's all that they can find in their specific city. So we will see what happens as we move forward, but right now, some are saying that the people that are unemployed are still finding it extremely difficult. And from those 26 states that did cancel the unemployment benefits a little bit early, 25 are Republican-led states. Only one is a Democratic state. Out of those 26 states, 4 million people lost their benefits. They will lose roughly $22.5 billion between the time that their unemployment benefits expired compared to if they were to continue to get it until September 6th. The rest of the states will lose their benefits on September 6th. That is the final day. The states so far that have canceled these benefits, roughly 3 out of 5 workers will not see any income whatsoever. The others will still continue to get a little bit. One expert said that the federal government needs to do a better job in ensuring that all Americans receive help, not just those that are in Democratic-led states. And this has some lawmakers saying that, yes, we should have looked for this. We should have considered this. But this was not something anybody expected would ever happen. Why would a state come out and just cancel benefits? Say, no, we don't need the money. The only reason why, according to some, is because the Republican governors thought that yes, people are on unemployment, they're getting more on unemployment, so that's the reason why they're not going back to work. Not because there's a job shortage. They said there's a worker shortage. People were not wanting to work, but that, according to reports, is not the case. Now, I want to bring you this story. I thought this was very interesting. What we're hearing right now is there's more lawmakers that are actually looking into other ideas to potentially give the American people more money. But there's a problem here. The problem here is that lawmakers at this time also want to extend the child tax credit payments. Now, that's not a horrible idea. That's a good idea for some. Many don't need these payments. Some don't want the payments. But what we heard last week was that some were actually considered a $500 gas card to help with other expenses. People could take this $500 gas card, and instead of putting $500 in gasoline in their car through their checking account or their bank account, they could use the gas card and take that $500 that they originally had and use it somewhere else, on food, on housing, on essentials, right? That's what we're hearing. Well, we also heard in prior weeks that lawmakers were discussing the possibility, again, just the possibility, of increasing the Social Security benefits. Well, what we know is that according to multiple reports, lawmakers are waiting on this because they say if we see a 5% or 6% cost of living adjustment in 2022, this will more than make up for any little benefit increase we give you right now. Well, I guess, sometime is better than never, but what a lot of people are having issues with is they need money today. Not in 6 months. They need money today. And let me just ask you this. Do you have at least 2 months of expenses in your savings account, in your bank account, checking account? It doesn't matter where it's at. It could be hidden under your mattress. Do you have at least 2 months of expenses? Most people don't. And experts say you need at least 3 to 6 months of expenses. But yet, the American people, the majority of them have less than 1 month worth of expenses in their accounts. The majority of Americans, over 50% of Americans, live paycheck to paycheck. So, it's not getting any better, and lawmakers do not understand. And I asked you this the other day. Do you guys feel that lawmakers understand what it's like to live on, a lower income? Because our lawmakers get about $174,000 or more every single year. That's their salary. So I don't think they understand what it's like to live on a smaller income. $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, maybe, but anything less than that, probably not. We also heard some time ago that many lawmakers want to see about increasing the earned income tax credit. Well, this could work. Some have mentioned this before. Others mentioned that we need to provide a bigger tax credit to parents and families. Well, that's always included as well. And we also heard time and time again that let's provide a one-time stimulus check. But here's what economists are telling us right now. Economists are saying that the most transformative piece of legislation we have ever seen is actually the child tax credit payments. But why? Is it because of the $3,000 or $3,600 payments or credit that we get at the end of the year? No, that's not the reason why. And I said this before, but now more economists are coming out and backing this, saying that this is what they believe as well. They say that the reason this is the most transformative piece of legislation we have ever seen is because of the monthly recurring aspect of this legislation. If this was just a $3,600 child tax credit, okay, it would work. It would be acceptable. It would help people out. Problem though is that you wouldn't get it until you file your taxes. The issue here is there are very low income earners that do not file taxes, so they would never receive this money. Even though, and this is something that lawmakers have been discussing, is that even though there's the lowest of low income earners that are making less than $10,000 a year, they don't file taxes. And so even if they have a child, they don't get that $2,000 per child tax credit at the end of the year. And it's not because they don't want it. The majority of people don't know about it. They don't know it's there. So it's an education issue. They just haven't been educated on it. That's the reason why they don't go and get their taxes. One, they don't need to. And the second reason why is they didn't know they should. And so what we're seeing right now is these economists are saying that people are running out of money. And what could really help them? Maybe a $250 stimulus check per month. Now, I want to bring this up because I think this is incredible. What we are hearing right now is having a guaranteed $250 to $300 per month check for the child tax credit payments. This is exactly what the American people have needed for some time. A little guaranteed money goes a long way. The American people at this time could use even a small amount, even if it's $100, $200 per month. That would be more beneficial than them falling deeper and deeper into debt. According to a handful of people, they say that all those lawmakers pushing for that $2,000 monthly stimulus check, that will never happen. According to a handful of reports, lawmakers are very unlikely to include a monthly stimulus check of that size due to the cost and government funding issues. So, a financial expert said that if lawmakers want to include this legislation, then they need to lower the amount, and getting something closer to $250 per month would be ideal, is what he said. However, here's the issue. Providing a $250 per month stimulus check along with a child tax credit of $250 to $300 per month, where we could potentially see the federal government is paying $500 to, a little bit more than that, $500 to $550 per month. That's something that they say they have to consider. Some say that they can't do this because too many Americans would become 100% reliant on the federal government for assistance. But I can tell you something right now, many people are already reliant on the federal government for assistance. When it comes to housing, more affordable housing, yeah, let's do the federal government. When it comes to nutrition assistance and SNAP benefits, free and reduced lunches, in schools, yeah, it's another benefit. All these things, right? Health insurance, all these things. And that's what's so frustrating right now, is that lawmakers understand that, and the hard part about this is lawmakers understand that, yes, we need this recurring assistance with housing assistance, nutrition assistance, health care, right? We need all this. But what is that? That is recurring assistance. It happens every single month. The lower income earners get this, which I'm not complaining about that. My complaint is, how do lawmakers not see that, they need, they need rental assistance because they need a place to live. They need nutrition assistance. They need a place, or need something to eat. Oh, they need health insurance because they have to make sure they're somewhat healthy, right? But what about income? What about income? Pay for the other essentials. Because you can't use SNAP benefits and go and buy toothpaste. And then your teeth start rotting. And then you got to go to the dentist, and it costs even more money because now the federal government has to pay to go to the dentist. Right? So it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And this is what some are saying. This is why $250 per person per month, especially for lower income earners, would be huge. This would be essential. This is something that we need to consider. Now, is this being discussed by lawmakers? No. $250 per month, okay, it could be. Okay, honestly, it could be. But this is coming from a financial expert. This isn't coming from our lawmakers. This isn't coming from Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell and President Biden. This is not coming from them. This is coming from somebody that actually has a background in finance, not somebody that's a politician for life. No. So while all this is happening, just giving you an idea, 6 million renters are at risk of losing their homes, becoming evicted in just over 1 week. Yeah, we have 8 days. 8 days. And the federal CDC eviction moratorium, it's gone. It expires. Now this is going to be huge. Some say this could ultimately change the economic recovery that we've seen so far. Many say it will. And not it could, it will. We have heard that the Biden administration are saying they are going to just let the eviction moratorium expire. They don't want to prolong the inevitable, and they say that states are being urged to get the rental assistance funding out as quickly as possible. But what we are hearing is that a little bit over 6% of the rental assistance funds have even gone out. That's over 6 months. Remember, former President Donald Trump, about 7 months actually, former President Donald Trump and the Trump administration, they passed a bill to include rental assistance funding back, I think, on December 27th. Well, The Biden administration and President Biden, they passed the American Rescue Plan that included an additional, I believe, $25 billion in rental assistance. This was on March 11th. So over the past 7 months, almost 8 months so far, we have seen about 6%. 6% of the rental assistance, that's about $3 billion of funding, go out. It's ridiculous. Some say that these states are supposed to be pushing out these funds as quickly as possible, but how many of you are still waiting for your rental assistance? I get comments every single day. Hey, I'm getting very close to losing my home, losing my apartment, being evicted because I'm still waiting on rental assistance. It is insane. I don't know how some people can do it with that kind of struggle hanging over their head. Like, where do we go? Do we leave? And let me know if you're having these same thoughts. Are we supposed to just leave our home, go somewhere else? But where do we go? We can't afford anything. We don't have any money. Nobody's going to rent to us. That's the issue. Right now, it seems like nobody can get the assistance that is actually needed, that Congress applauded themselves for including in the past bills. These funds are actually much harder to get, according to some, than the PPP loans that went out to businesses. Yet they're more crucial. And right now, what we're hearing is that the CDC is so worried on the Delta COVID variant that is one of the reasons why they're looking at the eviction protections and considering possibly extending it. However, the Biden administration doesn't want them to do that. They are telling people right now that the this Delta variant is the most contagious disease we have ever seen. They're also telling vaccinated people the reason why they want you to become vaccinated is not because you won't contract the virus, but it's because you won't get the severe symptoms. You probably won't be hospitalized and you will not die. That's the reason why. Not because you just couldn't contract it and you can't possibly spread it. It's because you won't die. That's the goal here. So that's what we know right now. I promise as I know more, I'll come back on and share more. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Again, if you could, go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoyed today's update. Also, consider subscribing so that I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.